Welcome to the Andy Staples Show. Happy Friday. There's not a ton going on in college football right now, but I need to talk to Ari Wasserman about something because I heard something this week and thought of Ari. And, we've heard Ari talk about his ambitions, his dreams, what he would like out of his life. Obviously, he would like to move to Southern California, but not until he's made enough that he can buy some palatial mansion, on Laguna Beach, that sort of thing. But here's the deal. There's a very talked about radio segment this week that got me thinking of you, and more specifically, the you want to be, because I think this will be you when you reach that level of wealth. I think you will be this type of rich person. So I was listening to the Pat McAfee show, and Aaron Rodgers will come on that show occasionally, either to just talk or to drop news. Everybody thought he was coming on to drop news. He really just came on to talk, but to me, he dropped some news. And so this is him on the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday, not dropping any news, but making me think of Ari.
Now that we're a couple weeks removed from the season, you've won your second MVP. You look back on the entire year that was. Your just thoughts now that you're a little bit away from it. Is there any different thoughts than you had maybe a couple weeks ago after we talked about your loss?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's, let me just put this disclaimer out right away for the few people watching that are tuning in just for a specific maybe news or decision. There will be no news today, no decision on my future. As I was texting with you yesterday, I just got out of a 12-day Panchakarma. Look that up. I know you did after we talked. But it's a cleanse that originated in India. It's been going on for thousands of years, and it's something I've done in the off season. So I'm just getting my head above the sand now and seeing what's going on out there. But no decision about my future today. So all you just do
hold
for
on,
that.
no, hold on, hold on,
now,
hold on. Hold on, fresh out of the Panchakarma, you had to think about your decision. Now, obviously, no decision is being made in that.
All right. He didn't make a decision. He's still on the Packers as far as we know. Panchakarma is the thing I wanted to that I've not been able to stop thinking about since then. Because I did look up Panchakarma. And this is a 12-day cleanse. And it made me think of Ari because as soon as I read this, I thought, this is the sort of rich person Ari aspires to be. He will move beyond. He's eaten so much gas station roller grill food in his life, so many McDonald's Filet-O-Fishes, that once he does hit that level of wealth, where he has bought the mansion in Laguna Beach, where he is driving the Porsche and actually pronouncing the brand Porsche correctly.
With a Porsche hat.
With a Porsche hat, yes, and probably gloves.
Yeah, I have this vision where one day I will have a Porsche 911 and I will wear flip-flops and a hoodie when it's 55 degrees there, which is freezing there for them. And I will pull up and get breakfast to go with a coffee cup, a few coffees, and take it back up to my house, which is a mile up the hill.
But when you go on vacation, which, at this point, every day of your life will be a vacation. But when you actually decide to go on vacation, instead of going somewhere pleasant and doing something fun, you will be the type of rich person who does what Aaron Rodgers does. You will do Panchakarma. Here is what Panchakarma is, if you haven't already looked it up. So it starts with the Purvakarma, which is the preparatory procedure. 3 procedures in the Purvakarma. The first one, improves digestion with herbs and fasting so the patient can digest the ghee, which is a clarified butter, which is provided to liquefy the fat-soluble toxins. Okay, you're having some herbs. You're not eating for a minute. That's fine. I do the intermittent fasting. I go hours and hours without food. It's fine. The second one, medicated ghee, so medicated butter, is given to the patient in increasing doses in order to aggravate and liquefy the fat-soluble toxins deposited in the deep tissues. Imagine how many toxins you have deposited in your deep tissues, Ari, after all those Filet-O-Fishes.
I mean, see, you're already wrong. I'm going to let you keep going, but I don't want to get the Filet-O-Fish out of my body.
You say that now, but you're not rich yet. Step 3, A full body steam bath is given to the patient, thereby opening the body channels, allowing the heat to liquefy the toxins further. This facilitates their movement from the tissues to the digestive tract. All right, none of this sounds particularly awful yet. That's because we haven't gotten to Panchakarma, which is the second stage. First step of Panchakarma, induced vomiting, which helps clear the upper GI tract to the duodenum and a part of the respiratory tract. Next part, induced purgation, clears the GI tract from the duodenum to the exit. Translation, we got you coming out both ends now. You are now expelling
so just so I understand
ends.
that. Induced number 2.
Sounds like laxatives to me.
Okay, because I didn't know which way we were going on that. Are we going up the back door, or are we going up?
We're going both ways. We're going both directions. Listen, when you're rich and every day of your life is pleasant, you go do something unpleasant on vacation.
But I didn't know how you induce the back door.
Laxatives. But probably not a chemical laxative, probably something natural and that comes from the earth and makes you poop in mass volumes. Next, the oil enema helps lubricate the rectal area to remove the lipid-soluble waste out through the anus. This is a website.
This is what you're thinking of me. You're reading this and thinking of me.
Well, I'm thinking of not you. I'm thinking of shirtless Ari on the yacht throwing gold at people. This will be you, because you can't have every day like that. You need to have some resistance. So you will have induced vomiting, induced pooping, and that is followed by, I don't know how else to say this, but buttering up your bunghole.
That's it. Yeah.
It's a butter enema, basically.
Yeah, there's a lot of butter going in your body.
And not through the traditional channels. Next comes nasal inhalation of medicated substances, which help clear the respiratory tract and the paranasal sinuses, which, frankly, I don't know if I want my nose cleared out if all of this other stuff is going on. Like, I don't know if I want, with
is there
stuff
somebody
coming out.
Helping you with this?
Oh, there are trained professionals that you're paying handsomely for this.
Okay. So while you're going to the bathroom uncontrollably, they're clearing out your nostrils for you.
Basically, you are just spouting from both ends. Like, I'm thinking of a Farrelly Brothers movie.
Imagine being the person that has to be in the room while that's happening.
Yeah.
Like, we're always considering like what Aaron Rodgers put his body through, but we're not considering the people that had to do it for him.
Oh, I'm definitely considering that person. I'm considering that person way more than Aaron Rodgers, because there's no amount of money I would pay to do this. There's very little amount of money you could pay me to do this. But there is a third stage to this. So food therapy afterwards aims at gradually increasing the patient's diet from liquid to semi-solids. So you can't even eat yet. You have just puked everything out, pooped everything out, gotten your bunghole buttered, and you still can't eat anything good. And then a rejuvenating Roscian therapy, which aids in increasing natural immunity and enhancing. I don't know what that means. Followed by a pacification therapy with herbs and lifestyle management, which means they probably tell you to stop eating so much filet of fish.
Yeah. I think I should start with lifestyle management.
Like, how much could we pay you, Ari, to go through this cleanse before the wedding?
It sounds truly awful. And here's the worst part. I don't believe it does anything.
I don't either. I know everybody says that I've seen that infomercial that says you have like 9 pounds of poop just sitting.
Yeah, I know. And it's actually,
I'm not sure I believe that.
The entire thing, not just this, but like the entire detox idea. Like, I go to a group fitness class right now where I'm lifting weights with 4 or 5 people, and some are women that are there. And one of the women there said that they were on a 5-day juice cleanse. And I think that's a very popular thing, especially in Dallas.
Yeah, lots of people do that.
A lot of people do this, where they don't eat anything and they just drink whatever juices they prepare, and they pay eight grand for it or whatever, just usually in upscale neighborhoods where people think that they can, it's a colon cleanse, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And I asked a doctor, because my best friend's dad's a doctor, and I just like, what do you think of this? And it's coincidental because I asked him this like last week before the Panchakarma thing came out. And he said it's the biggest scam on the face of the earth. You know what cleanses your body? Your pancreas, your liver, and your kidneys.
Water.
And in water. Yeah. And that was it. So, you know, I understand that maybe it makes people feel good to like just fast for a little bit and put some vegetables in there and only vegetables. Maybe it makes them, but I think it's far more of a mental thing than it is a physical thing. So, you know, to go and listen, Aaron Rodgers has certainly done a much better job of taking care of his body than I have. You know, he's a professional athlete, one of the best quarterbacks that's ever played.
What one could say it's sort of his job to do that.
Yes.
It is not your job to take care of your body, but it is his job.
I don't know that he's any better off, like health-wise, having gone through that. I mean, if somebody wanted to pay me to do it, I would do it for sure. Like what? As long as I knew I wasn't going to die, it sounds like you could. It sounds dangerous, to be honest.
It sounds like I would not want to be the person who mops it up. Like
I'd rather be the person going through it, I think, than the person that has to clean it up.
Yeah, I mean, and it's probably not the medical professional who has to clean it up. Like there is probably a lower
minimum wage working. Yeah.
Yes, who comes in with a mop and a bucket and is just bowled over by the stench of rich people vomit.
Does ghee taste good?
I've had it. It's fine. Like I've put it in coffee before.
Does it taste like butter? I know it's like isn't it like the number one ingredient for people who do keto?
Yes.
Who put it in coffee so that
it does taste like butter, and it tastes fine. But
if you put ghee on a waffle, would it taste good?
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's an oily sauce. It's a fat. So
I just feel like taking big swigs of butter doesn't sound awful.
I think it sounds worse than you think it would. I think it'd be worse than you think it would. Like just straight butter.
Yeah, it would be bad. I'm not, but there's worse things that I feel like I would have to eat until I like induced vomiting.
I just think whoever came up with this, and I realize Aaron Rodgers is thousands of years old. That person had some odd kinks.
Yeah.
But they were very persuasive. They're like, no. This is cool, man. You're going to like this. Here's some butter. Spread them.
I don't know if it's just because of what has happened to come out on Netflix in the last month, but I've been watching an abnormal amount of shows and documentaries that have a lot to do with con artists.
Well, you were watching Inventing Anna, which I have not watched yet, but I read the original New Yorker story when it came out on this Anna Delvey person.
Yes.
Who apparently just was like, hey, I'm a trust fund kid. Don't worry about it. And ingratiated herself to all sorts of rich people who were so rich that they didn't pay attention to how many bills of hers they were paying. And didn't,
And she also got like a loan from some of the biggest banks in the world.
Right.
For like $100 million to open up a business, despite not having a single dollar to her name, which is like, to me, I think I'm like fascinated by people who are so good at their con that they can convince people in very important positions that have protocol they have to follow when it comes to financials. I don't know how you con somebody at Chase Bank, but she did. I do think that, but I also watched The Tinder Swindler, which is kind of the same idea. I don't know if you've watched that yet.
I have not watched that one yet.
Rich guy a guy on Tinder pretending to be rich.
Pretending to be rich.
Cons everybody. Yeah. It's, I kind of think that you have to be obviously a psychopath to do something like that, but I do feel like there's some relation to this sort of thing where it's just like there were a lot of businesses in upper income neighborhoods from health standpoint that just, it's a scam, and here, can I tell you something I did this week?
Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
Here we go. Andy's like, just do something stupid this week so we have something to talk about on the show.
That's not true. I did something stupid this week, but I talked about it with Chris Vanini.
I know.
I nearly killed myself with a chainsaw. So
you know what I did? So I have very tight hamstrings for some reason. And it's not something
I'm right there with you, homie.
It's not something that like hinders me from day to day. But like if somebody were to stretch my legs, I could not go 90 degrees without it being very painful.
Right.
So Britt, sweetheart that she is, for Valentine's Day, got me a gift, which was a stretch zone. Do they have those in Gainesville, or have you done these since you're a former athlete?
I do know they exist. So this is a place you go and they stretch you out.
You go and they strap you to a table like you're Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
And they stretch every single muscle in your body.
You get the same treatment that an NBA player would get before the game.
Yeah, and it felt tremendous. and it felt awesome. And it feels better when somebody else stretches you than it is if you just try to touch your own toes.
Correct.
But I just thought to myself, because I was leaving and this place is located in a very high-end neighborhood. And I thought, who is going to pay $100 a session to get stretched?
The same person that will pay to get their hair blow dried.
Because, and Britt does that. So, I don't know. I've never had to blow dry my hair. I didn't know what a blowout was until I met her. But, there is services in both health and appearance in upper middle class and upper class neighborhoods that, would not exist anywhere else.
Well, that's what so when I posted the pictures of the picture of myself in 2020 with my shirt off and the one recently with my shirt off, I had a bunch of people, ask me on Twitter, okay, what's the secret? What do you do? And I answered honestly, I'm like, I am burning more calories than I am ingesting. And they're like, no, that can't be it. I'm like, no,
it's pretty simple.
That's really it. There's nothing. So what I'm saying is I should write a diet book. And every page should say, eat less,
walk
turn
more.
Page, exercise more. Eat less, turn page, exercise more. That's it.
Were you even counting macros, or did you just? Was it only?
What's
calories?
a macro?
Really?
Yeah, really. I didn't know what it is. I know what it is now, but I when I started to, I had no idea what counting macros was.
Counting carbs and fat and whatever.
Yeah, no, I just count. A calorie is a calorie. Here's the thing. It's sort of like, I always talk about Alabama has the self-selecting sample of recruits now because they've gotten to the point where you are so likely to be molded into a first, second, or third rounder that they don't have to take every 5-star that wants to go there. They can go, you know what? I don't think you have the right attitude. I don't think you'd fit in here. Whereas most programs, they can't overlook the talent and they have to take that guy. So you start self-selecting when you're counting calories and you have this many for the day. You select the types of foods based because you screwed up once or twice, and then you go hungry and you realize I can't do this again. So if I wanted to, when I first started in it, I was being really strict and I was eating 2,350 a day, 2,350 calories a day. I could eat 6 donuts and that could be my day.
2,300, you said?
Yeah.
I can eat good amount.
It's fine. You can do pretty well with that amount. I'm doing 2,400 a day. I actually might finish about 2,300 today. You can live very happily doing that, but you have to choose more carefully. You have to choose long burn type stuff. You have to eat meats and lean meat, vegetables, things that you can get more volume and less calories. You will not choose a piece of cake because it is not worth it. The juice isn't worth the squeeze.
The weight loss industry is a big scam.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that those diets don't work.
And I've done them that work. The South Beach diet worked great for me.
Sure
I lost
keto
50
works.
pounds.
Keto,
but I put it right back on because the second I said, you know what, I'm going to eat some carbs. I'm tired of not eating bread. I ate all the bread.
What I have a hard time with on your diet, though, and it's always been a struggle for me.
What's that?
And I'm assuming that you have to be super intentional. So everything that you eat and everything that you cook, you probably measure out and all that stuff, right?
I don't measure it out. I've got some go-tos that now I just know. There's have you had the egg bites at Starbucks?
Yeah, 170.
They have them in the store now. They're a little bit bigger. You can get them in the grocery store, and they have them with bacon or the sausage or 3 cheese, and they're 260 calories. And so I've got an entire fridge full of those because it's 90 seconds. They're hot. They're ready to go. And that's the ideal kind of snack for me because it's longer burning. It's high in protein, that sort of thing. But yeah, you have to be pretty intentional.
So tonight, Britt is making chili for dinner, and boy, I cannot wait because it's freezing in Dallas.
That would be a good thing for my diet.
I went to the grocery store.
A lot of chili.
Yeah. I went to the grocery store and I got cans of diced tomatoes, corn, beans, all these things. And then when we eat, she'll put it in a nice bowl. She'll put a few of the siete tortilla chips in it, and she'll slide it in front of me.
Yeah,
because she's an angel. This woman.
She is.
I don't know how
We're
many.
gonna have to have her on one of these days.
Yeah, I think people are probably going to be very interested in like how do you?
I think Brit and we should have a Brit and Ann day on the podcast where our significant others just make fun of us.
Yeah,
and we don't get to listen. Like we don't get to listen until the episode airs.
I bet you she would do that.
That might be amazing.
But I don't know how many calories are in that. So when I start counting calories, I get discouraged because it's annoying. And it's like whenever
you know the basic ingredients, you can approximate how much a pot of it is, and then how much that portion of it is. It just I do a lot of cooking in my house, so I know more about what each ingredient has in it.
Yeah. So I mean, certainly what you do, but like in Dallas, there are so many places. They've got infrared sauna places where you go and you sit in a sauna, but it's like, but it's not a sauna in the traditional sense where there's a door. And you go in and sit in a sauna like you would in any gym. It's like you lay down in a pod and they like close the thing over you and your head sticks out. And they have this thing where you can hit your cell phone up so that it looks down at you and you're laying on your back watching Netflix while you have infrared beams.
Infrared schwitz.
And after 36 minutes, you like need water or you're going to die. Like they have those. They have like the stretch places. Like certain types of workouts, every single type of Pilates studio that you could ever imagine. There's a cycling studio on every corner, and there's like a million different things, and it's almost overwhelming. When like really all you have to do is eat 2,200 calories a day and go on a run every now and then.
Yeah, I mean you have to exercise too, but and I did that. I was in the Orange Theory cult for a year and a half, and would still be probably if not for COVID, because you know the gyms shut down. I couldn't go. I was getting better results on my own, and I stopped. But I like.
It's an Orange Theory's whole thing to humiliate the person who finishes on last.
No,
because can't you see like everybody's score up there?
It's not a score. All you see are how they're burning. You know how they're burning calories or how many minutes they've spent in a certain heart rate.
But somebody's last, right?
It's not really last though, because everybody's heart beats differently. So some people are just hummingbirds and their heart's up in the zone, you know, in the orange or the red the whole time. And most people aren't like that. So no, they don't humiliate anybody. They're actually pretty nice and you know, want everybody to kind of go at their own speed. It was a good workout. I enjoyed it. The only problem for me was just building my time around it. Like my wife got mad at me because she could tell when I was moving a schedule around to schedule a class, or when I'd go on road trips for work, I'd pick hotels near an Orange Theory.
Yeah, you did that at the Fiesta Bowl in 2020.
I did. That was a nice Orange Theory out in Phoenix. It was very nice. But
we all went to breakfast and you weren't there because you went to Orange Theory.
Yeah, but I did make up for it at the deli later.
You did, yeah,
with the pastrami sliders. So, but no, you do have to exercise, but the food part is more important. And so I'm glad we're having this episode here because I've gotten so many questions about it, about the weight loss and everything. It's good to talk about how being realistic with it, because I've lost this kind of weight before and I've put it back on, and I don't like, I'm living in fear. And like I said before, one of the reasons I put that picture out on the internet is I feel like it'll hold me accountable. Like if I start to put it back on, people are going to make fun of me. So I need to make sure I stay where I am. But the only difference between this one and the other ones, and I did South Beach once, which was, again, worked like a charm until I just tried to start eating normally, quote unquote, normally again, and just put it all back on. I don't have a goal weight. Like there's not a weight I hit where I stop. I'm just going to keep doing this. And I have days where I can cheat. Like on Saturday, my sister-in-law and her husband, who live in Seattle, they're going to be in town. They've not gotten a chance to come and visit family here in a while. And so we're going to have a big thing at our house. She used to live here, so she ordered a bunch of food from one of her favorite restaurants here. So we're going to have a ton of Cuban food, and I'm going to eat like a pig. I'm going to eat whatever I want, but I am going to enter every calorie into the app, so I will know how much I have.
Does it ever just drain you though? Like where you're just like, I don't want to do this right now. It's like every single time you eat, you got to like sit down and like plug it into your phone.
No, because I remember to do it at the end of the day if I didn't do it throughout the day.
But it's like I don't understand. Like at a Super Bowl party, there's buffalo wings, there's pizza, there's a bowls of chips, there's dip. Like how do you
on a cheat? I do kind of ballpark it. Like
okay,
like Christmas dinner was horrific. Like I ate everything in sight, so I just put 6,000 calories. I don't think I actually ate that much, but I put 6,000 calories.
Oh, there's an app that like is telling you what you are over the long haul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
And the thing is, it keeps track of how many for the week and how many for the month. And so you know exactly where you are relative to where you're supposed to be for the week or the month. Like this week right now, I am about 2,000, including my workouts, about 2,000 calories under. So I should theoretically lose weight this week.
And then what do you do? Like wear an Apple Watch or something and then type in how many calories it says you burned on your watch?
Yep, exactly.
Do you find that to be accurate?
It's working fine. It's worked fine. I mean, when I put the goal into the app, or I put a weight into the app that I wanted to get down to, and how many pounds I put into lose 1.5 pounds a week when I started this in September. Now I lost more than that at first, and then it kind of slowed down. But yeah, it feels like it's pretty accurate. So
I use the watch all the time. I just don't know if I trust it.
I don't know if I trust the scale.
Yeah, no, I'm just. And
it's going in the direction I want it to go. So
the technology of the iWatch.
Well, yeah. What happened here? We used to be sharing workouts.
Buddy, I lift weights 5 times a week.
I know, but I'm not getting your workouts anymore. I'm disappointed. Our connection has been lost.
I'll try to fix that, but I put up 225 on the bench on Wednesday. That was the most I've ever done.
Woo!
I've always wanted to do.
In high school, we called that the Cadillacs.
But I can only do it was like if you see the video of it, it's like half my body, it's like tilted over.
Wait,
but
I
got
video
it
of this.
I think I'm
putting this on the podcast.
I'll show you. Yeah. But 225 is the weight they do at the combine, so I just wanted to do one.
Yeah,
and I got it.
Well, 225 for those who don't lift weights. An Olympic bar is 45 pounds. The largest plate in most weight rooms is 45 pounds, unless you're like in a powerlifting gym where they've got the 100-pound plates for your deadlifts and your other stuff. But so 2 45-pound plates on each side of an Olympic bar is 225 pounds. It's the first weight that actually looks cool. And so if you're doing that on the bench or you're squatting that, you could do more than that, but it doesn't really matter. But once you do less of that, it doesn't look as cool.
Yeah, it was a nice accomplishment, I think. Still can't do push-ups very well, as we found out on the show.
But I bet you can do them better now. If your bench max has gone up, then I bet you could do them now.
Yeah.
But see, like I got a messed up shoulder, so I don't bench heavy. I do lighter weight, more reps because I'm 43 years old. I'm not going to impress anybody at the gym at this point.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
I'm not
another
trying
thing people have to get over.
Yeah, I don't care I would rather be able to only bench 150 and not have male boobs.
Well, I could put you on the plan.
What's this app? What's this app?
So the app that I use is called Lose It. But do you want to know why this has worked for me?
I use
you want to know the real secret?
Don't use it.
Exactly. You lose it. The secret, the reason this has worked for me is because my wife did it at the same time. The only way it worked for either of us is we were both doing it. And that, because there are days you just want to quit and you see the other person setting a good example for you and you're like, okay, I can make it.
Yeah. I've been eating reasonably for the past 2 months. And the only days where I have a hard time are the days after I drank the night before.
Oh, that's perfectly understandable. You're dehydrated. You're feeling bad. You want grease and carbs to soak up all those bad feelings. Like
on Wednesday evening, a friend was in town, and we went to a sports bar. We both decided to bet a considerable amount of money on Kentucky basketball -7.5.
Ooh.
And they were up 15 with 3 minutes to go, and they won by 4, which was awful. And this morning I wasn't feeling
They don't play LSU great. This was the LSU game, right?
Yes. It was a meltdown of epic proportion.
They still beat them, but
they
lost
to us any favors. But yeah, the morning after, it's just like scrambled eggs and a Greek yogurt just doesn't hit the spot when you're hungover.
Yeah, you need the carbs. But here's the thing. If I got you counting, you would be shocked at where the calories come from. Like, it's the snacks that get you. It's the like, oh, I'll just have this, and that's 500 calories, where like if it's a fifth of what you're allowed to eat in a day, you look at it differently than if it's just this thing I'm going to eat in 30 seconds to tide me over for the next hour.
Yeah, and like cashews and stuff, you might take a handful of cashews and maybe 400 calories.
I can't even do the nuts. Like I love cashews so much, I will eat the whole jar of cashews. So I avoid them at all costs.
Yeah, I'll try this app.
All right.
You log your drinking calories too, I assume.
Oh yeah, and that gets you too. So you're talking about 150 to 200 calories for a 12-ounce beer. It's rough.
I mean, I'm a very big mixed drink guy now. I drink the same thing every time.
So 86 calories for an ounce of bourbon. That would be your 80 proof bourbon. If you're going single batch, that's a little bit stronger, it's going to go up to about 100.
I drink the same tequila in every drink.
Not an ounce. I'm sorry, an ounce and a half for a shot. Oh, tequila
all I do is Casamigos Reposado with soda and lime juice. That's my drink.
I need to get you to the Anejo.
Well, we have 42 here.
Ooh. Yeah, my wife got me
I like the flavor of Reposado.
My wife got me some of the Patron sherry cask aged Anejo. Ooh, that's nice to just sip. You don't need anything with that. You can just put that over ice.
Yeah.
But I you can do it, and I still have drinks every once in a while. And the thing is, if you're exercising, you get more calories. So you can like your workout, that weight workout is going to get you like 600 more calories.
Every single time I'm done with my workout, it says I burn 780 to 850
Oh, well, good.
calories.
There you go.
But like, I don't know that that's actually true.
If you're heavier, you're burning more calories. Like, I burn less now that I don't weigh 280 anymore.
Yeah.
When I weighed that much, I burned more calories.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think you could do it. I'm curious to see if you could do it, because there are things I had to just stop. And I think what you kind of do is you say, I'm not going to eat an outlandish amount of calories unless it's a special occasion, unless this is a special meal. So like the chain pizza, probably not having that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but I haven't had that in months anyway.
Yeah.
I haven't had any of the meals that we discuss on this podcast in a long time.
Well, and that's the thing. So I think you could definitely do it. I think you've been working your way there. So you've got the regular exercise.
So just walk me through like a regular Andy day. Like, okay. What do you eat? Do you eat bread?
Sometimes. Yeah. I'll give you an example. Yesterday. So I smoked a pork butt over the weekend. I got this new pellet smoker for Christmas, and I hadn't done a pork butt on it yet, and I wanted to see how it came out, and it was absolutely delicious. So I've used it for several different things. I just ate some plain. I've eaten it in sandwiches. Last night I made nachos for the kid. I made pulled pork nachos for the kids, and I had that for dinner. So we'll go my morning. I didn't really have any calories until about 11 o'clock when I had a cup of coffee with some cream in it. And then I had two of those. So then I had two pulled pork sandwiches. And I believe I had I'm saying this like I don't have it all in front of me. I can actually look it up. I can go to yesterday and it'll tell me exactly what I had. And let's see. And then I had two pulled pork sandwiches, and a little bit later in the afternoon I had the egg bites as a snack. I had some turkey pepperoni, a couple handfuls of that. After I worked out, I did a chest workout, and I did I ran about 3.5 miles. And then I had a sumo orange for a snack. And at dinner, I had what the kids didn't eat of the pulled pork nachos, which was about 700 calories worth, and an apple. And I ate 2,515 calories. And I exercised. And
you type in your height, you type in your height and your weight and all that too. So it like calculates how many calories.
And I put and I put my weight every day, and it tells me how much closer because you do have to put a goal weight, even though I'm not looking at it like if I hit this weight, I'm going to stop. My goal weight originally was 225. I've dropped below that, so I moved it to 215, and I'm 220 right now.
You have to weigh yourself every day?
You don't have to, but
do you?
do. Yeah.
Do you ever see like you gained a pound after a day?
Absolutely.
Does that
Some
bother
days you
you?
gain like 4 pounds, and it bothers the hell out of you. But a lot of it's just water. And the thing is, when you're a man over 200 pounds, like you're gonna have
variance. Yeah.
Not to get back to our original cleanse thing, the poop thing. You're gonna have days where you got a bunch of poop, and then you know what, take a big poop, and you weigh less the next day.
You know what I want you to do?
What's that?
I want you to go do what's the cleanse called? The
Pamchinko? No, wait, that's the move at the end of the cutting edge.
Panchakarma or whatever.
The
Pensacola cleanse.
The Pascagoula run. No, wait, it's Jimmy Buffett song.
I think the Pensacola cleanse is a little bit different.
The Pensacola cleanse is very different.
And then log all the ghee butter that you put in.
I think it involves getting beaten up by a bunch of Navy pilots. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, send me the app. I'll try it.
I'm excited.
I'm going to Dusty Slay, who's a comedian. He's in Dallas on Friday night.
Yep.
And I'm probably going to have anywhere between 17 and 30 drinks. And then
don't start counting till after that. Have a last hurrah. But
so I can go to Domino's tomorrow then, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like I smoked a pork butt over the weekend. I didn't fall off the wagon. I managed. Portion control was always my problem, and I'm okay. I will eat like a pig on Saturday night. It's gonna happen, but I'll be okay. I'll rein it back in on Sunday because that's
probably healthy to know that you're gonna eat like a pig beforehand, though.
I only eat like a pig when I plan to. That's the other thing. It is very planned. Like I've planned the rest of the week out knowing what Saturday will be, and if I didn't have Saturday, I might have planned a different day.
Yeah.
But you can do it. And I am ready. I'm ready to help, Ari. I will be your sounding board.
I also feel like I kind of like have been doing it, just kind of an estimation in my head, though.
Once you start actually doing it, you're going to realize you've been severely underestimating how many calories you've been eating.
Yeah. Hey, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be good. It'll be a good experiment.
It's going to be fun. And listen, I'm enjoying this. Like, this is the first time I have not been scared of bathing suit season. I'm ready for bathing suit season.
I mean, you're a sexy man. I don't know why you would ever be afraid.
That's what I'm going for. Yes, you can.
I'm never afraid of bathing suits.
I have seen your Twitter profile picture, Ari. You look like the old one you used to use.
Oh, yeah. That was just because I forgot to change it. Now it's just me.
You look like a freaking rock star. We're going to make that happen.
Oh, yeah. Fade, everything. Yeah. But now I let Britt steal the show.
Well, she does, but you need to be better arm candy for her.
Oh, sure.
You need to be appropriate arm candy for her. You don't want people being like, "Wait, what's she doing with him?" You want people to be like, "Damn, that's the most powerful power couple I ever saw."
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get there. That's a good idea.
I'm ready.
Because I do have the one thing I do have is a grade A hairline.
Yes,
I have tremendous hair. Okay,
yeah, exactly. So. There will be days when you're going to be like, this sucks. I want you to call me on those days, and I will talk you down off the ledge. Because there are days when it sucks, and sometimes you're just hungry.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know how you are, but like with me, when I get like into a really good diet routine, I find myself being very repetitive. I just eat the same thing every day because like know what it is, and it is what it is. Yeah,
it's like Steve Jobs and the turtlenecks, exactly. So
yeah.
We'll try it, and I've got a bunch of different foods I can give you that, like, I'll give you one: double steak Chipotle bowl with lettuce and the veggies.
Yeah,
it's a very filling thing and not as many calories as you think.
Yeah,
it's okay. I mean that's the type of stuff you just can't get the chips, so you gotta live without them.
Yeah, I figured.
No, it'll be fun. And neither of us has to do the cleanse. Although, I'm thinking we could have a bet at some point next football season where the loser has to do that cleanse.
Yeah, I mean, it better be I think I'd rather give you $1,000, but like, the USC bet could be the cleanse. I mean, I don't know, like, where do you even go to do that? Like, where did he go? Did he leave America?
I would think so, but the website I was reading the description off of earlier in the show is from a place in New York that does it.
Therapeutic vomiting sounds like something I did outside of a frat house in 2006.
I bet you felt better. Boot rally.
Is there therapeutic vomiting? Have you ever vomited therapeutically?
There have been times when I vomited and needed to. It's sort of like when I was in college and the kid vomited in our washing machine when we were throwing a party. And I got really mad at first. Then I realized, that's probably the second best place to vomit behind the toilet.
Because you could just run it.
Yeah, you just turn on the washing machine and it's gone. It was great. Yeah. I was like, you know what? Thank you, random kid that we didn't invite to this party. Thank you for being thoughtful enough to puke in the washing machine and not the dryer. This is what you get on Fridays in the off season. You might not like it.
This is our first show of all time where we didn't discuss football at all.
I did talk about Alabama's self-selecting recruit sample.
Yeah, well, I will. Can I leave them with football?
Please.
Because you brought up Alabama. There are 11 top 100 players in the state of Alabama this year in the 2023 class, and I'm very fascinated to see how Nick Saban approaches that.
Gee, I can't imagine why Auburn had some strife about its coaching situation.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine either. But I wonder.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with that at all.
I wonder what the over-under you would set for number of players they take out of those 11. I think 4 or 5 of them are defensive linemen, so it might
because
be a significant
numbers.
You think,
you might have a numbers crunch.
I wonder.
All right, let's set that now. Let's set it now. And obviously some of them may move out. People may move in, but we'll go with the 11 that are there now. We'll take a snapshot of that. Over under 7.
Over.
Okay.
The thing that's hard is that I wonder, because Alabama is the only program or one of only 3 programs in America that would turn their back on a top 100 player because they found a better one further away. So I'm very curious to see, maybe even less interesting than how many they get, is how they approach it.
It will be interesting because, 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, you would be worried about the politics within the state of, would you be ticking off the high school coaches? Would you be, potentially shutting a door of a place that could give you more players because they're in state? I don't think it works that way anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like if there's the number 76 overall player who's a corner in Alabama, it would be an auto take, you'd think. But if they get the number 26 5-star from California, they might not have room for him. Like, it's interesting. I'm very curious to see if Nick Saban's just going to take the layup and take all of them and just be like, you know what, half our class is Alabama kids this year, or if it's just going to be like, you know what, these guys are really good, but we're going to go get the better ones out of Florida.
I cannot wait. We probably should place a bet on that. Probably should put a cleanse on it, but you're right. We're going to save the cleanse for something truly monumental. Ari, it's been a pleasure. We'll talk to you again soon.